perfect beach for motorcycle racing because it's got this lovely bed of pebbles under the sand.
The adrenaline is rushing through you and the thrill is so great, it gets in your blood.
Once you get on the line and you drop that clutch, well, you don't think of anything about nerves and you just go.
It's going to be a tight race, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you what, I think we're going to see a little bit of spills in this one.
There's only about 1 or 2 beach races in the world, and Sellicks is one of the best places on earth to be able to do this.
Well, Bill, seeing as we haven't ridden together before, I want to show you where I want you to be. Now, you've done a lot of speedway riding. I got interested in motorcycles in England. I was 18 years old, and one of my mates wanted to take me for a ride on this 350 aerial. After the 7 miles, he stopped, and it was so cold, he was freezing. And he said to me, I can't drive anymore. You've got to ride the motorbike back. And I said, I can't do that. I've never driven a motorbike in my life. So that was my first introduction to motorcycles. And then my brother-in-law said, well, let's go and have a look around the motorcycle shop. And we saw the Square 4. And I said to Jack, I've got to have that motorbike. And that's how I started with the Aerial Square 4. In 1962, I decided to come to Australia. I brought the Aerial Square 4 with me. I went to a scramble meeting at Lobethal and I said, I want to be a part of this. I decided then that I was going to build a sidecar and race the Square 4.
Once you get mobile, I will come down like this, hanging on for grim light. I first met Trevor in 1963 and we met at the Port Noarlunga Scramble. When Trevor and I both got a sash, I said to him, it's taken me 3 years to win this sash, and you come along and you win a sash in 3 months. But we've been good mates ever since.
Bit more, right?
It was in the early 20s. Look, people started using Sellicks as a race track or just to get out there and belt the hell out of their motorbikes and cars, and all sorts of machines got out there. But after a while, of course, some of the younger lads wanted to get a bit more enthusiastic with their riding, and so they wanted more competition. And that's when Sellicks Beach was really born. In the early days, it was all about setting records. It was all about speed trials. In fact, it was called speed trials. And they were doing speeds of up to 100 miles an hour on the beach. It became an annual event until about 1953. And that was the last time that the Levis Motorcycle Club held a race meeting on Sellicks Beach. This year, this event is the first time we're actually having a race meeting on Sellicks Beach in 60 years.
Things will go wrong. We've planned for everything to go right.
I haven't competed since we had Kerry, and that was in 1973 when my wife was pregnant.
When Dad first said that he was going to race at the Sellicks Beach races, there was certainly a lot of excitement in the house. I've been used to that bike being covered up in the shed for years, moved from spot to spot. It was actually a really emotional moment when it first started.
The first time I saw that bike, it was in his garage and it was a frame. And that was about 6 months ago. It was just a pure little frame, and he's really rebuilt that bike to a marvellous machine. The entries are just outstanding. There's Levis motorcycles, thank God. There's OECs, Velisets, Nortons, Triumphs, Harley Davidsons. We've got over 100 bikes and sidecars going to be roaring around the track. The races are going to be based on the old days as well.
Are you ready?
High race, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you what.
You go in a straight line for a half a mile.
Down in there, I reckon.
You go round a barrel and you come back the same distance, making it 1 full lap a mile. And that there should be 4 laps.
Yeah, these guys are pretty serious. You can see them eyeing each other up. Tim's overshot the corner. Fire long right. Oh! Can he recover it? Yes, he can. He's going to get it. Take the checkered flag now.
Did I question whether he was able to physically? Never any doubt. Dad's always been one of these guys that if you don't use it, you lose it.
I don't want to sound patronising, but it just seems to me with some of these people, it's just given them a whole new lease of life. And boy, have they taken it on. I mean, you look at one of the other guys with his 1938 Harley. I mean, he got that in boxes. And he's put this thing back together and run it for the first time in 70 years. And then you got Trevor and Billy, and they should have been in boxes, for God's sake, and they've dragged them out of boxes and put them back together, and out they are racing.
If you sit in a chair on a veranda and rock yourself to death, well, you would die early.
How fast were we going? 40 mile an hour?
Oh, we touched 75 at one time.
To me, Trevor and Billy really epitomise what this race is all about.
You don't look bad for a bloke that's...
The interaction between them all, it's really quite interesting. I mean, Trevor's a bit more conservative, I guess you'd say, and Billy's never really shy.
Do you like me or not?
Yeah.
Well, you can buy me a beer then.
It just says to me about what this is all about. These guys have come back to it and said, I want to give it one more go. If I could do that when I'm 80, I'll be really bloody happy.
Taking the win this weekend, Trevor Atwell and Billy Angren, well done. I'll say it again because these two are old, they might not have heard me. Trevor and Billy, come on, up you come. How about a round of applause for these guys? Come on.
That was the best weekend of my life. Thank you very much, mate. I'm really proud to ride with you. Now, if I was a gentleman, I would tell you what a great bloke you are. But seeing I'm not a gentleman,
You won't tell me.
I will tell you what a great bloke I am.